Welcome to the cockpit. My name's Ryan and I'll be your pilot tonight. Boys and girls, I wanted to hop on, talk a little bit about the Jets 49ers game as well as all the comings and goings going on with the New York Jets. Little late night action stream here. So if you're popping in, I appreciate it. Hit that like button. This stream powered by BetUS. Get 125%. Let me get that up on the screen. Bam! 125% bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000. When you sign up to BetUS, I have the link in the description down below. If you'd like to do that, I'll get into some of the odds in the Jets 49ers game in a little bit. We'll discuss it. If you want to check out my 5 favorite bets for the season, for season-long stuff, you can check that out in the link below as well. BetUS, thank you so much for sponsoring the stream. See Dakota in here, nice and early. Let's effing go. Says, Saunders is a bust that is coming out of the league next season. He's horrible. And if you ask me, he honestly stinks. Sucks. We'll get into some of that, some of the college stuff. Saunders is one that if I needed a quarterback, I would not be trying to do that. Trying to go with him. I see some people over in the vertical stream and cannot hear me right now. So what am I doing wrong? Let's see. Does that do it? Am I hopping back and forth? I am not. Bear with me a second as I try to correct. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. So if you're heading over there, boom, I'm just going to end that other stream because it's clearly not working right now. And that is okay. That's why we do the test stuff. try to figure it out. And that's all right. All right. Hopefully they come over to the other side of the stream. All right. Without further ado. So Brandon Aiyuk gets a $120 million contract over 4 years. That means Jets are going to face him week 1. We're still in holding formation as far as Trent Williams is concerned. Star left tackle for the San Francisco 49ers. I do think Trent Williams is the player I would prefer to not play, so him not being signed at this current point is pretty good. I would like to avoid that as best I can. But I'm, like Robert Saleh said, I'm not holding out hope that Trent Williams is not going to play. I think we plan for the best case scenario, or I guess the worst case scenario for us, best case scenario for the 49ers. Try to get them in a situation where you're struggling, you're going to have to go against the best left tackle in the league, and then be pleasantly surprised if he doesn't wind up playing. Brandon Aiyuk, stud. Absolutely stud, super efficient wide receiver. I think he's going to give us some problems. Honestly, I think I would prefer Sauce on Debo and just follow him around and then probably read on Aiyuk or Carter, I guess, depending on where Aiyuk winds up lining up. Then we got our own struggles. No Hassan Reddick on our side of things. So how are we possibly going to get to the quarterback? Oh, wait, we added so many studs on the D-line through undrafted free agency. We actually, man, you know what? There's part of me that really hopes we come away with 8 sacks in this game. And Joe Douglas just goes, Reddick, I don't care. Show up or don't show up, I don't care. I do think Reddick is going to show up prior to this game. He's going to do a hold in at this point so he doesn't wind up losing additional game checks. But I don't think he's going to play in the week 1 matchup versus the 49ers. I would be very surprised at least. So, do you think the Jets have a shot at beating the 49ers if it's with Aiyuk, but without Trent Williams? Or maybe with Trent Williams and with Aiyuk and no Hassan Reddick? So I want to hear from you guys. Said I was going to throw it up on the screen. Let's take a look at it right now. Take a look over at BetUS. If you want to head over there, check out the 49ers Jets game. Jets currently plus 170. They're underdogs by 4 points heading into San Francisco. Do you think they can actually overcome the odds? I would take Jets money line. I would say maybe wait a day or so, see if this money line shifts with the signing of Aiyuk. As of right now, it has not. But as far as the over-under 44 points, this is still a tough defense. Our offensive line is going to have to gel. There's going to be a lot of what-ifs maybe on the Jets side of things. So I don't think we are going to score a crazy ton of points, especially since they have a good defense in and of themselves. But the Jets defense is so good, I don't think they're going to score a crazy ton of points either. And 44 points to me feels like that might be on the higher end of where this could end up. So if I were going to try and stack some things together, Jets money line and take the under on the points. If you guys want to try and win some money, get 125% bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000 with BetUS. Thank you. All right, let's go through some of the things you guys are saying in the chat. We can kind of go whichever direction you want. We can talk about Aiyuk. We can talk about other stuff going on around the team. Dakota Saunders is going to be the embarrassment to disgrace towards his father's legacy that lives on forever. Nah, Dion's Dion. He'll be fine. Andrew, can't wait for this game. I just watched the most recent One Jets drive. I'm ready to run through a wall. I feel you, dude. I feel you. What's up, Wild Wave? Just win Jets. Will Reddick sign next? I don't think so. I don't think Joe Douglas is going to bend. I think they're going to want Reddick to attend camp or be in the building. And I don't think, since he's not going to play in week 1, I don't think Douglas is going to sign him. He's going to wait until after that and then see if leverage changes at all and how much that impacts things. Wildwave says, I expect Trent to play week 1. I agree. Mutt Viles, what's good, dude? Personally, if Trent isn't there, then we will be fine. I'd rather face them 100%. Ryan, you know the media will make a stinker out of us beating the 49ers without Christian McCaffrey or Trent. You know what? I'm in the same mindset as you. I really do want to face them at full strength. But Green Bean always brings up the point, hey, no one's going to look back at it later on. A win is a win is a win. So if you can get it because they're missing a few players, sorry, we'll take the win. And you know what? I should probably try to adopt that mindset. I do want to beat them at full strength because I don't want those what-if scenarios. We wind up doing that with the Dolphins all the time. And I'd like to be able to beat like a really good team with all our players and all their players. And we know we're only going to get better as the season goes on because we're still gelling and everything's still trying to iron itself out. But yeah, I feel you. Mutt Viles. David, you are a legend, Ryan. I've been watching you for years now. Thank you, David. Greatly appreciated. I can't tell you how it's super fun getting to know everyone over the course of all these years. Some of you guys change your usernames and stuff, and that throws me for a loop. but overall, even though there's no face to the usernames for the majority of people, it's super fun. Very much enjoy it. So thank you for hanging out. Brendan, will Rodgers have his usual week 1 bad game like he did the last few years in Green Bay? I think it was the last 2 or 3 years, right? Like it's been a little bit where it wasn't so great. But is this right? Is he undefeated against the 49ers? Let's hope we can blend those together and have a halfway decent game, and then Breece Hall just nukes him with Garrett, the defense, and everyone else. I just want it. I can't wait for week 1. Is it like a snow day? Am I supposed to wear my pajamas inside out? For good luck. David D says, greetings, Ryan. I ordered gummies from one of your sponsors and used your promo code JETLIFE30. Yeah, if you guys are interested in JetLife gummies, they're no relation to the Jets whatsoever. I don't know why these are named JetLife. I guess it's some other sort of deal they got going on. But yeah, you get 30% off using JetLife30 at Crescent Canna. You can click the link in the description down below. I have thoroughly enjoyed it. I very much have shifted away from alcohol, and I don't hurt in the morning, which is like kind of nice. So if you enjoy yourself a little gummy, that's the way to go. Chris comes in and says, honestly, I want the 49ers at their best. I don't want any excuses from anyone when we do the damn thing this year. Yeah, right? Like go 20-0, but have like the maximum hardness level that we could possibly achieve. They're going to make excuses either way. Like, oh, Jets, they suck. Whatever. Screw them. Don't care. Not here to make friends. The Freedom House says, oh man, if we start out beating San Francisco, we are going to be so pumped. Reddick will be pissed, which will be icing on the cake. Dude, if we beat the 49ers, let me know. You know what? I'm gonna put a little poll question here. You guys can let me know. I'm kind of kicking around the idea of streaming the game. So I'll let that go in the chat if you guys want me to. Kind of kicking around the idea of doing it, or at least maybe like tail end of the stream. I was gonna watch the game with my neighbor. I don't know if he's gonna come over or not though. Jimmy, I need to get Riddick signed, man. Yeah, look, our defense will be better with him. I'm not gonna lie, but I don't know if he's going to. I don't think it's gonna happen week 1. Mikey, I think people are worried about Reed, but let week 1 be the test. I am a little concerned about Reed. He got his doors blown in by Malik Neighbors during the joint practice. I do think Reed's going to be a stud still this year, so I don't think that's going to be the norm. He had a really nice block on Lazard in the green and white scrimmage. Thought that was really cool. But I look, I guess I'm concerned about everyone until they start performing, but Reed's a stud. JD holding the line like he's supposed to. Yes, JD's doing the right thing. Todd says, of course the Jets got a chance. Just win Jets. Of course we do. Trent Williams still isn't back, so maybe he's out week 1 too. We are what? A little over a week away. We're like 10 days away, right? Is that the right math? 11 days away? I think as long as he's there by the beginning of next week, they'll be fine. And they got the long weekend to figure it all out. So we'll see. 𝐀𝐿 𝐂𝐟𝐿𝐥𝐢𝐥𝐢. Do you think this will be like the... Do you think this will be like the Eagles game last year? Last year we had both cornerbacks out and still won against an undefeated team. I think San Francisco is a better team overall. They present different challenges. I think they have a more prolific passing attack, the 49ers do. And I think the Eagles are more of that kind of gritty kind of team. I don't trust the Eagles all the time. It'd be nice if we get some backups playing. I shouldn't say backups because the only backup is really going to be Michael Clemens. I think everyone else is ready to roll. Yeah, look, hey, would love to see it. Oh, Greg says, I'm betting on the Jets and the over. I don't know, dude. Our defense is so strong. It's a fun bet, but I'm not going on the over. Jimmy, how I see it, if Trent Williams comes back in the middle of the week next week, he gets like 4 days of practice. He's going to be out of shape. Yeah. You know, he's so good. It's hard for me to envision him like really struggling against us. But the later he comes back, the better it is for us either way. So let's just hope for the best. Mutt Viles, just win, baby. Who cares who's available because the media will dumb down the win. Yeah, they're gonna dumb it down either way. They're gonna throw some stones at us. Isaac, what's up, dude? Celebrating 43 months of first-class membership. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Rogers, coming home. Remember, he's a Cali guy. Brees and Christian McCaffrey. G5 and the 49ers defense. Debo, Aiyuk, Kittle versus Sauce. Reed in our defense. Tyron Smith. Morgan Moses versus Bosa and Leonard Floyd. Trent Williams versus JJ. Maybe Riddick. This game is going to be a movie. This is like star-studded power. Not to mention like our coaching staff going back to San Francisco, which is where a lot of these guys, in particular Robert Saleh, came from. There's just so many storylines going on for week 1 for the Jets. And Rodgers, in and of himself, like Rodgers even, I guess Rodgers coming home is on here, but like him getting knocked out week 1 last year on Monday Night Football is going to be an enormous story heading into week 1 this year. While Ryan, the way JD made it sound, Riddick went back on his word. JD ain't playing around with him. No, I think he's going to play hardball, and I think he should. Don't care who San Francisco is playing or not playing. I just think we will beat them down. Dude, from your lips to God's ears. Dwayne, this is a no excuse season. Don't want to hear him. Not a single one. No, yeah, we should not have any excuses. We have enough talent on this team. This is probably the deepest team that I can remember watching. 2010 was really good, but it was like a top-heavy team. I feel like we've got depth across the board as long as the key players, Aaron, Garrett, Sauce, Quinnen, as long as those guys stay healthy, I think we can deal with some hiccups along the way. Guys missing a few games here and there won't be bad because of the depth we have. 1969 NY Jets, what's up, dude? He says, what's up, Ryan? But how much do you think Aiyuk can actually do with our defense and his not practicing? I think he's still going to be fine because I think where our defense could struggle is the quick passing game, kind of like Miami sort of deploys on us. and it neutralizes our pass rush while also getting the ball into their playmakers' hands really fast. So I think they're going to manufacture some touches for Aiyuk and Deebo. Red John, it's week 1. I'll take the win without Trent Williams. Week 1 is fluky anyway. Yeah, there's a lot of teams. I mean, heck, didn't the Jaguars, the year they got the number 1 overall pick, I think they beat the Colts week 1. I think it was the Colts. It was the Titans. Whatever it was. They wound up having a win that was very unlikely week 1, and then the rest of their season was shit. So it's all crazy. V-Man, I'll pray to any and all gods so we can win. Hell, I'll pray to Yaya. Dude, whatever you guys say. Jammies inside out. Friggin' lucky rabbit's foot. Whatever you got to do. Got to get a win. Jacob, what's good, Jacob? Nice to have you in here. Monster. What's your realistic expectations for the New York Jets? Do they make the playoffs, win the division? Any injuries you think will happen? Let's not pray for Aaron Rodgers or any of them important players. So I'm not going to speculate on the injuries because that's too tough to understand. But as far as do they make the playoffs, I think they do make the playoffs, and I think we win the division. I think that's how it's all going to shake out. Sir Jers says Reed's going to be fine. Tamarac's Treehouse. Gonna miss game 1. Pearl Jam concert in Philly. Didn't realize they overlapped. Will have to turn off notifications. Wanna crush San Francisco. Well, Treehouse, if you want to watch, I'm going to have an every throw video for Aaron Rodgers, and maybe I'll do an every throw video for Brock Purdy as well, because then we get to see how the defense kind of looks against the pass. It's not going to be an every run. We'll see. I might highlight some other players, but I might do it where it's like only the channel members get like the I don't want to say the one-off players, but the players that may highlight certain things. Tyson, they hate us. I saw some dumb shit where they had Brees as the 7th best running back in the league. He is number 2 behind Christian McCaffrey. I mean, with the way CMC gets hurt and held up, I think there's definitely an argument for Brees being able to overcome that hurdle too and be the number 1 back. I put some money on him being offensive player of the year. I think he is. I think he's going to eclipse the 2,000 yard mark. I really do. Hey, what's up, Ray? Thank you so much for the super chat. Says, if DJ Reed struggles early, I hope the coaching staff is not too scared to give Stiggers a chance to body up Aiyuk. Salah loyal to a fault sometimes. Yeah, I guess it depends how long you want to test out Reed for, because Reed's got a longer proven track record comparatively to, any of the rookies that we have on here. So I do think I would, if say by halftime Reed's just getting smacked around, or there's some issues with any player covering another player, then I would like to see halftime adjustments be made and come out stronger in the second half. But I don't want to just like yank him too early. I don't think we're going to have to yank Reed. I think we'll be all right. If we were in school, our defense is an A with Reddick. We are an A+. Yeah. Yep, that's right. Andrew, join Green Bean's game day stream. You guys were great when I saw you do one together. Yeah, I'll have to talk to him about it. I know he likes doing it on his channel, but I think he's been doing it with a few of the other guys. And I don't know how many people I want to have on a stream all at once. But yeah, I'll touch base with Green Bean before I do anything either way. Sir Jers, NFL wanted to try and crush our morale early. They tried it. Not going to work. Pearl Jam is my jam. Yeti says, yo, Ryan, don't do another live stream. Honestly, start Green Beans. I honestly start Green Beans. Keep it running for content, but put my phone down. Just watch. Love you, bud. So I will hop on with Bean then if we wind up doing that. Maybe we could do it over on the Talking Jets channel or something. We'll see. I don't even know if it depends if my neighbor can watch. If my neighbor can watch, then maybe I won't do the stream. But we'll see. Green Bean is having Dom C. Frankie from Flatbush on that stream. 4 guys on the stream then. We'll see. I'll talk to Bean. Greg, I'd only missed the game for the original Led Zeppelin with Bottom. I don't know if the only time I've kind of missed a game and I should say, I kind of with like I guess not watched it, but was still actively listening to it, I was working at the tree farm the year the Raiders had that Hail Mary play, and we lost on the last play of the game. I wound up doing the jet plane around the tree farm because I was so hyped. I thought we were getting Trevor Lawrence. But that was like, I think the last time I like didn't watch a game. Charles, what's up, dude? Hey, Ryan, hope all is well. Anyways, don't forget to wish Bobby Midnight a happy birthday today. Bobby Midnight, happy birthday, dude. Today's Thursday, right? Hell yeah. I don't know if you're in here. Bobby, happy birthday. Mike Mouse says, Jets need to win decisively, not like the 49ers, looked rusty with bad snaps, dropped passes, fumbles on handoffs, etc. D-line dominate, offense score 30, cornerbacks blanket, or every sportscaster has excuses. They're always, no matter what happens, if the Jets lose, they're going to get made fun of. If they win, they're going to be like, well, the 49ers, they didn't have their guys for the longest time. At least we have like the very very public Hassan Reddick holdout that I think will sort of help the Jets narrative. Tamarax, I swear though, if we lose media, will shred us either way. Jets fans gonna panic before we win the next 4. Yeah, the one thing that sucks too is like you're going West Coast, and if you're so amped up emotionally from the 49ers game, like if you do happen to lose that game, the drain on your body from that type of battle going into another road game on a short week in Tennessee. And I think Tennessee's a sneaky good team. I really do. Then you're going to run into an issue of potentially like 2 losses heading into a short week against a division rival at home. I don't know. We'll see. We got to win. Got to win. Positive vibes only, baby. John Moore says, Aiyuk going to look like poop after no training camp? I hope so. Hopefully it looks like a bum. David, Monday Night Football, the ratings are going to be through the roof. Jets win. When all eyes are on us, that would feel good. It really would. Tyson, when Clemens puts Purdy on his back, all you haters are going to eat crow. Yeah, a lot of people hating on Clemens right now. I understand why you may want some other people in place of Clemens, but people that thought Clemens was going to get cut, I would have been surprised by that. Below Benzad. Green bean. I'll hit my lucky bong. Oh, geez. Good for you. Ryu. Their O-line still sucks. Trent still isn't signed. Yeah, even if he comes back, that O-line is still suspect. You just have to dominate on the interior part of the offensive line. So Quinnen, Kinlaw, maybe JJ if he kicks inside. Got to be able to dominate your matchups when you can. Mikey, when players saw their Madden ratings, it sounded like not just Stiggers, but teammates were also like, oh, they haven't seen you yet. Yeah, definitely the comments about the Madden ratings with Stiggers, because he was with like 3 or 4 other guys. They're like, oh, they just don't know you yet. And yeah, you didn't see my Canadian Football League tape? That sort of stuff's interesting to me because I think Stiggers is, I think a lot of us think Stiggers is probably could be a starter beyond this year. Excited to see what happens. It'll be contract pressure. Reed was a beast the last 2 seasons. Bad moments happen. Yeah, hopefully he balls out trying to get a monster contract after this year. They're monster. Do you think Garrett Wilson will surpass 1,200 yards receiving this season with Aaron Rodgers under center? I do. He had just over 1,000 each of the first 2 years. So I do think he can get another 200 yards with Rodgers. Let alone, like, just think about how many yards our offense should be able to generate for our other players too, just purely by not going 3 and out all the time. Like, if we have longer sustained drives, now all of a sudden you're actually scoring points. Now maybe we wind up winning games or we start leading in games more and we don't have to throw as much. That might throw a little bit of a wrinkle in things. But I do think 1,200 yards is squarely in Garrett's wheelhouse. Zachary, just tell us your fantasy team. So right now, I haven't done any fantasy drafts for any legitimate leagues yet, but I do have a few like underdog best ball lineups. Let me see what I'm going with. I don't think I have any that are. I don't think I can show all of them. I think I might have to wait till they're all done. Yeah, I have to wait till the draft is done before it shows me my exposure. But I'm taking a lot of, if I can get him, Breece early. I'll take Breece round 1 no matter what pick I have. I'll take him 1-1 if I can. I have a lot of, what have I seen a lot of on my teams? I always take Lamar if I can. 3rd, 4th round. It's so early for a quarterback. I try not to, like, if there's better receivers. I feel like you got to go receiver heavy this year in fantasy. At least from what I've noticed in the best ball contest, lots of people loading up on receiver early. Jacob, defense didn't get many interceptions last season besides week 1. Does that change this year? Yeah, I think when we play with a lead, we're going to have an opportunity to do that. VV Vet says, I almost purchased season tickets, but they are expensive. F it. I'll just go to the bar to watch the game with the boys. Yeah, the season tickets are tough to justify. I was looking into them a little bit just to see what it would cost to have a seat or two. And it doesn't come, or at least the price they quoted me, I think I was looking upper decks, and I want to say it was like $1,300 per seat. Is that right? I think that's right. But it doesn't include parking pass. So your parking pass is going to cost you like, what was it, $30-$40 a pop for season ticket holders for each game. So add that onto it, call it $1,500 roughly. It's a lot of money. Football is also made for TV, which is it's frustrating. Like, I've always had this argument with, like, the Super Bowl. If the Jets make the Super Bowl, I would love to go for the week leading up to the Super Bowl, but I don't know if I necessarily want to be in the building. I feel like you get to see so much more on TV. And then the fan base that would be at the Super Bowl is going to be split anyway. And that's like, you're probably like 40% Jets, 40% whatever the other team is, and 20% just random people that want to go to a Super Bowl. I don't know. I think I'd rather have a Super Bowl party and just have like a ton of people over. Tyson, I haven't watched a full game in years. I can only watch one full quarter, and I watch stats the whole game. If I watch the whole thing, they lose every time. That's that's a pessimistic Jet fan approach. No, I feel that. I try to put the Jet game on, and then I'll have Red Zone on next to it, and I'll watch both of them. The last few years, you kind of have to watch Red Zone, the way our Jets have played. Wild Wave. Greg missed 2 kicks, but couldn't miss the kick in the Commanders game. Yeah, man, if we missed that Commanders game kick, we'd have probably Malik Neighbors on this team because we would be picking 6th. Breece Hall up next for 2K yards. I think it's going to happen. I really do. Matthew, just joined the stream. Did you already talk about the report of a supposed anonymous agent who the team says is in disarray? Just seems like usual clickbait picking on the Jets. Oh, I can't believe I didn't even bring that up. It's funny. When I was at work, I was like, I got to talk about this later. And I saw it and I brushed it off because I was I was irritated by it. Because it's definitely a Deanna Rossini kind of source / Hassan Reddick source. That was always my vibe on it. Because I think The Athletic was the first one to release like here's the Hassan Reddick side of things. And not to mention Rossini has had an axe to grind. And she wasn't the one that wrote the article either. I clicked onto it. It wasn't her. But I do think she could be like the anonymous source that's like feeding information. Whatever it is, they've just had an axe to grind with the Jets. They could pound rocks. What Brandon going to do against Sauce and Reed? Hopefully nothing. Is anyone else going to be holding their breath when Aaron Rodgers snaps back? Yeah. Yeah, until we score like a touchdown on like the first drive or like really look like an efficient offense, there's going to be a little bit of like hold my breath and like the Achilles is holding up. Okay, he's not 100 years old. He's moving around enough. Like there's a lot of boxes that have to be checked. We're a very enticing team on paper, but there is a lot of injury risk and there's a lot of roll the dice on the New York Jets. If we are playing to what we should play to, we should be one of the best teams in the league. OB, I'd rather face 49ers with their best lineup than their 3 best players out. Yeah, right? Like there is some degree of like, okay, if we lose to them with their best players playing, but we still have time to build up the rest of our team because our offensive line is gelling. Mike Williams is just getting back into the fold. Aaron Rodgers just getting his feet under him after 2 years of being injured. Then, yeah, there's some degree of like, oh, okay. Now, the only time we'll play them again this year is if we face them in the Super Bowl. So I very much don't care too much about if their players miss because I do want the win more than anything else. Keanu, I don't care if we're facing Batman at wide receiver week 1. We have sauce. Douse him in sauce, baby. Daniel, Ryan, that's true. If the Jets lose, 49ers game media will be all over the Jets, but if the Jets win, their fan base will be making Super Bowl reservations. If the Jets win, their fan base will be making Super Bowl. I'm not sure I understand what you just said. Mike says, JBC and Steers are going to have an open competition for the other cornerback spot next year. Yeah, I'm down for it. And we got their contract rights. We got JBC for the next 2 years, and we got Stiggers for the next 3. I'm about it. Yeti says, I just spent 20 minutes trying to explain the difference between South Pole and North Pole to that handsome boy in my pick. My overall answer was, I'm sure they're all Jet fans. In the North Pole and the South Pole? Yes. They're penguins that wear Jet uniforms. It's my reality. David, we have to keep Bosa in check. Yeah, he's still an animal. That team's just so loaded. Mikey, Garrett Wilson had 1,100 yards year 1, 1042 last year. Both with Zach Wilson primarily. With an average quarterback, he'd have an additional 300 or 400 yards. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword with Garrett's receiving numbers. He was the only wide receiver, so he kind of got forced the ball. And we were losing so much, we had to throw the ball more. But we didn't have enough opportunities because we kept getting 3 and outs. And then if we're winning more this year, are we going to run the ball more? So it's sort of like there is a little bit of fool's gold, I think, with how high I think Garrett's ceiling could be just because of where I think this team overall is going to be. But I think 1,200 yards is realistic for sure, which is kind of in your wheelhouse anyway, 1,300, 1,400 yards. King Blaze. Talking to Clutch. What did Clutch say? 49ers at their best. A win is a win. Nobody felt sorry for the Jets last year with our injuries. Niners, too bad. That's a good way to think of it. That's what Bean's been saying. Saunders, I don't think Garrett Wilson's going to have a lot of yards due to our other weapons. Zach Wilson held back the offense. Yeah, I'm kind of in that same mindset, but I like what Just When Jets says. 1,350 for Garrett. I'm not sure Mike Williams gets over 1,000 yards. I think he'll be like in that 800 yards with like 7 or 8 touchdowns. He'll be like a jump ball guy. I would take 1,000. Daniel, you should keep picking Achane. The league isn't prepared for what's about to happen. So I actually do have Achane in a few different leagues. I did a bunch of the best ball. I think I'm up to like 10 best ball entries. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got nine best ball entries. Which the 8-hour timer on draft picks is super nice, but now it's gone. So everything's like, I think 30 minutes now. So I got to keep an eye when I get on the clock here. King Blaze thinks 36 to 3,800 yards and 35 to 38 touchdowns for Rodgers. I think if he gets 35 to 38 touchdowns, he'll break that 4,000 yard mark. I hope he does at least. But I think this offense is going to run through Breece Hall first and foremost. Let's get ready to whoop Aiyuk's butt. Go Jets. Wild Wave, Neighbors and Garrett don't remind me. Dude, if we lost that Commanders game and we had Malik Neighbors opposite Garrett Wilson, it'd be unstoppable. It'd be absolutely unstoppable. We'd have a super thin offensive line. I am happy we got Fashanu. I'm definitely happy we got him. But man, Neighbors would be something else. Mikey says, I'd take that stat line that King Blaze put up before, less than 10 interceptions. Give it to me. I'd assume the running backs are cooking too. Yeah, I think Breece is going to have a lot of receiving yards. It wouldn't shock me if Breece is like number 2 in receiving yards this year for us. Chris, I'm not worried about Rodgers as much as I want to see the O-line that does their jobs for 2.5 seconds and don't get hurt. Yeah, I don't want to see our offensive linemen go down for sure. From the little bit we saw from them, I am encouraged. And even like, since a lot of people don't see the practices, but I went to, what did I go to? 3 of the practices, I think. I thought the O-line looked pretty solid. And there was 2 of them where Tyron was not playing because he had vet days. Jonathan Moore, keep talking about your favorite fantasy players, please. J-Mo and I are in a fantasy league together. And I'm probably hurting myself by doing this. It's funny. I used to do a stream on the night that we would draft for my work league, and my friggin' coworkers would be watching my live stream while I'm talking about the draft. I'm like, oh, they're stealing all my picks right in front of me. Wild Wave. That's crazy that neighbors asked for a retired number and John Mara reached out, gave it to him, talk about messing with history of a player. Yeah, but at least there was like the acknowledgement of it and like, hey, yeah, you know, we'll let you wear the number. I like what the Cowboys do with number 88. I know it's not retired, but Irvin and, you know, Dez and now CD with wearing 88. I'd like to see that become more of a trend with other teams. Like earn the number and then you get it. Like if the Jets had one for Garrett, you know, you do the same thing. Tate says, what NFL teams don't have a locked on channel? I don't know what that means. Jermonster, what's your top 10 teams in the NFL right now? Top 10 teams. All right. Jets, 49ers, Lions. This is in no particular order, just off the top of my head. Jets, 49ers, Lions. I think the Browns are going to be good. Chiefs, obviously. I still think the Bills are tough. Josh Allen's really good. I think the Dolphins will be challenging. I don't think I can trust the Steelers. Bengals, as long as Burrow bounces back. I don't know what to expect from the Chargers this year. I'm going to leave them off that list. Did I say the Ravens? I don't know if I said the Ravens. Ravens around there. Texans? Probably. You could maybe throw Philly in that group. That'd roughly be my list. David. Ryan, it's really tough being born and raised in South Florida and being a diehard Jet fan. Since I was 11 years old, everybody always clowns me now. 100%. It's our time. Go Jets. David, growing up, I was one of the only Jet fans in my school. And I grew up in New York, not the city, but like outside. And I wound up being a lot of Giant fans where I grew up. So luckily going through school, for the most part, the Jets were actually like competitive for me because I was in third or fourth grade, I guess, for the 98 season. And then take that all the way to 2010 where I was in college. And that was probably the most successful stretch of, 15 years roughly? 13, 15 years of Jets football. Caleb, realistic score prediction. I said under 44 points on the game. So I'm going to say like a 17-20 or a, you know, it's going to be tight. I don't even know if I would take the 4-point spread, to be honest. The Wedge says we cannot be 0-1, then just as easily be 0-2. Season's over. Yeah, the percentage of making the playoffs if you start the season 0-2 is a lot lower. A lot lower. So you got to at least go 1-1. Dylan says just got done shredding drums. What did I miss? Not a whole lot. We're just having a little late night sesh here. Go for about an hour. I got about another 20 minutes or so. I'm gonna go hang out. Go downstairs, maybe watch a movie or something. I'm going on a bachelor party. If anyone's going up to Saratoga this weekend for the raceway, I'm going to be up that way with a few buddies. So if you see me at the track, give me a wave. Anthony, what's your honest take on the results of week 1? I think the Jets can win it, but we're an underdog. I think it's a coin flip game. It really is. Keanu. I think Brees is a dual-edged sword as well. A lot of his receiving yards were due to no talent at quarterback and them just checking it down to him, but real passing game unlocks him in the running game, no stacked boxes. Yeah, but I think they're definitely going to use Brees in the receiving game as well. I think they're going to get him out on the edge. Not just him, too. I think Braylon Allen, I think Malachi Corley, the three of them are going to kind of shift around the backfield and the wide receiver, slot, outside, and just try to dictate matchups as best you can. And I think Rodgers is going to try and manipulate that as best he can pre-snap. Yeti, I don't talk ish. I won't say anything bad about San Francisco, but if I remember correctly, we have 0 losses on the home opener. There is no question here, folks. We pretty much dominate until 2030. I don't know what you're talking about. On our home opener? Or their home opener? I'm confused. That's all right. Luke, what's our biggest holes? I would say the spot on our team that I'm most concerned about is probably wide receiver right now, just because, God forbid, something happens to Garrett. Mike Williams is still like consistently banged up, even without his ACL injury. And then beyond that, it's like, does Lazard turn back into a pumpkin? And then I don't really feel comfortable about Gibson or Malachi Corley or anyone else in the receiver room right now. So I very much want to get Devontae. That would make me feel a lot better. I would say receiver is the one that I'm concerned with. Viva. Where is that light up Jets logo from? It looks sweet. Yeah, I wish I could have had some kind of promo code for that or something. Or the guy that made it for me was the one that made my last sign, which I actually still have sitting down on the floor over here. I just haven't cleaned it up. He used to have an Etsy store, and he wound up closing his Etsy store a few years ago after I got that sign because I guess he's just too busy with other stuff. And I reached out to him via email, and he's just like, yeah, I'll do you a one-off. I was like, oh, well, if people ask for him, do you want me to send him your way? And he's just like, nah, this is a one of one. I was like, all right. I appreciate it. He's a good dude. Mike Miles, Mike Williams, 950 yards, but 12 touchdowns because they'll just toss it up to him in the red zone. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't know if he'll even have that many yards. I could see a 600 or 700 yard season out of Mike Williams with a stupid amount of touchdowns. I could totally see that. David D, while I have no proof, I have a feeling that Hecklefish is a New York Jets fan. I believe so. I think they're from New York, if I'm not mistaken. Hecklefish and the Y-Files guy that I'm blanking on his name right now. Running backs may get ample passing yards. I agree. What is the best NFL teams for fantasy football? I mean, Jets have got to be up there. I don't know if there's a receiver on the Chiefs that I really like, aside from Kelsey. So it's Kelsey, Mahomes. Maybe the Ravens, Mark Andrews, Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry. That's probably a pretty solid group. Bengals with Burrow. They don't have Mixon anymore, but they still got Chase. Miami's got to be up there. Because even Tua as your quarterback isn't terrible from a fantasy perspective. And then you got Tyreek and Waddle and friggin' what's his face, the other guy they drafted this year. Then you got Mostert and Achane. That is a good team. Can Brees get 1K and 1K? I believe so. I think he's going to get 1,300 rush yards, and he's probably going to be somewhere in the, I would say 700 yards receiving. I think he'll break 2K. I meant NFL players for every position, but mostly quarterback players. I don't know what you're talking about. That's all right. not scrolling up. Jets will be fine. Gardner will lock down Aiyuk. I would like to see Gardner sauce on Debo, honestly. Maybe they wind up putting Ashton Davis on him. I guess it depends where he lines up. I want to see some of that shadowing that we heard so much about. Let Sauce travel. Just when Jets, since Lewis Cine went to Buffalo, do you think we sign someone else? No, I don't think so. Honestly, I didn't realize how much of a special teams player Lewis Cine is. He's only got 10 regular season defensive snaps. When I went back to doing every play, I was like, this is stupid. I'm doing a bunch of every plays for Lewis Cine that don't have any tackles. So he's just running around. It's here's what his coverage looks like. It's very, very slim. So as far as special teams players, no, I don't think we're going to go out and look for too many. Wild Wave, I'm happy too, but you can tell Rodgers and Garrett wanted him. I don't know who he wanted. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Oh, Neighbors. Yeah. Well, I think Garrett wanted Odunze. I would have been fine with that too. Apparently he looks pretty good too. Clutch comes in. Do you think there's a world where we would give our old vets off games if we come against someone like the Patriots? I don't think so. I think it's a bad idea to rest players in the NFL unless they're injured. If Tyron Smith is banged up for a week and they say, hey, we're going to, put Olu out there for a game or for, you know, just as a precautionary thing, I'm fine with that. But I wouldn't rest players in the sense of like, you know, resting a basketball player or something like that. Mikey says Aiyuk's going to have 1 or 2 decent big catches and be mostly shut down the rest of the game. If it's Sauce, he's a big dude, outweighs Sauce. I don't think Aiyuk's a big dude. Is Aiyuk big? I didn't know that. I was thinking he was like 5'11". Oh, he's 6 foot. Okay, so 6 foot 200. That's not huge. 200 pounds at 6 foot. I guess that's kind of stocky. Strong. He's a good receiver. It's going to be tough either way. Ring of Honor is better, but I like the Cowboys way too. I like our Ring of Honor, but I like the 88 number a lot. I think that's fun. You should make your LEDs green in your logo light. So I was gonna do green, but I couldn't find. So the LEDs I had to use. So I hot glued those friggin' LEDs in myself, and the only good ones that I found were white to give it like the glow I wanted. Because of the way it's like outlined, it makes it a challenge to run a traditional LED strip, like a double-sided sticky one. Like I had on my last sign. The last one was easy enough because I wrapped it around the outside of it and like flipped it inside. This one I had to like be very careful with how I maneuvered it. Ted Chen, by the way, watching you live from Singapore. JETS, Jets. JETS. Thank you. From the other side of the world. Very cool. The 49ers still have Trent Williams holding out. They should be more worried about the Jets' D-line. Aiyuk will need a few weeks to get into game shape. He'll still have his catches, I think. Still good. But I agree, Trent's a big loss. Daniel says every team has a Locked On channel. What is Locked On Jets? Do I not know this? 3,000 followers. I don't think I knew that. Is it good? I'll have to take a look. It's funny, I've seen Locked On like other things, but I didn't know it was like a brand. I know the Chat Sports stuff, but I don't think Chat Sports has a Jets channel. Dylan. Ryan, fantasy question. I'm picking 5. If I miss Breece or Bijan, would I reach for Garrett over St. Brown or Jefferson? So if you're picking 5 and you're saying Breece and Bijan aren't there, you're assuming Christian McCaffrey's gone, you're probably assuming CeeDee Lamb's gone, and you're probably assuming Tyreek's gone. God, that's so tough. Jefferson without having Kirk is tough, but if that team's going to be bad, I think they're going to feed Jefferson. St. Brown is a stud. I really do think the Lions are going to be a good team. I don't think you can go wrong either way, honestly. I don't think I would reach for Garrett that far because of how I'm less high on Garrett in a fantasy like first round, like that high, than I am like if you get Garrett in the second round, I think that makes a lot more sense. Or towards the end of the first, maybe you reach a little bit more. I would probably still take Jefferson just because I think they will feature him. All right, we got about 10 more minutes, so let's rip through a few more of these. Super Leroy, it feels so good knowing that we don't have any holes at linebacker or defensive back. So nice. Yeah, even the linebackers, I'm still surprised we kept 5. I didn't think Surratt would make the team. I think if we wind up claiming someone or moving something around, I think Surratt's probably the odd man out. Brian, my boy, thanks again for the bracelets. Hit the like button. Can't wait for week 1. This is our year. Damn right, dude. Damn right. Yeah, if you guys ever see me in public, I try to keep a wristband, like a Jets Talk wristband on my wrist. And anytime I see someone with a Jets stuff or a Jet fan, I toss it out. But Brian's a good dude. Like Brian. see what else we got going on in here. If you don't know Brian, well, I would assume the chat doesn't know Brian. You should totally go to his restaurant, which I am going to pronounce correctly right here, right now. 𝐼𝐿𝐥𝐢𝐥𝐢 Bistro. I had a slamming burger today. The fries were top notch too, by the way. Very, very happy. David, my rookie year was Mark Sanchez's rookie year and Coach Rex Ryan. I never looked back since no need to. So your rookie year, so your first year watching was Mark Sanchez's rookie year. Man, you got like a nice little stretch there. That's what sucks about like Jet fan stuff is like we haven't had a good team to get young kids interested in the sport unless they're like family members were Jet fans. Like my dad got me into the Jets because he was Jet fan. Jets stunk in the early 90s. so you know, it was a little bit. So we got to catch like a nice little run there. But usually you get a lot of fans when your team's good. You see the Giants, they won in the 80s, the 90s, you know, late 2000s, and then early 2010s, and they consistently have a young crop of fans coming up because of that little bit of success that they wind up having. I just want a little bit. Just give me a little touch of success. Let's see. AJ's the host. That's right. And Hecklefish were born in the Bronx, raised mostly on Long Island. I feel like I've heard them make a joke at the Jets' expense. I could be wrong. Love me some Hecklefish. Jacob says, I got Maurice Garrett and the Jets D on my fantasy team. Yeah, that's who you'd want. I have a lot of Conklin. I take Conklin pretty late in drafts as a tight end. I think he's going to have a good year. Is it a hot take to say our wide receiver core is very weak outside of Garrett? No, I don't think it's a hot take. I think it's if everyone's healthy and they perform up to snuff, I think the receivers we have is fine because I think the tight end's going to be a big part of it with Conklin, and I think the running back's going to be a bigger part of the offense overall. So I'm a little less concerned about receiver, but if God forbid Garrett goes down, yeah, you got to worry for sure. Freedom House agrees. Brees and Conklin will be important in the pass game. Super Leroy, don't worry about Devontae Adams. We'll be halfway out the door after the Raiders lose week 1 to Coach Harbaugh. Yeah, I think Devontae is going to be a Jet by the trade deadline. I really do. Sir Jers. By the way, a theory I've been pondering since the whole Reddick holdout debacle is if the Jets were possibly going to use Reddick as a trade piece for Adams if he found out early edge versus wideout. I'm more of the opinion that I would rather force Reddick to play for us and trade a draft pick for Devontae because I think having the most good players are more beneficial than having future draft picks just for these next 2 seasons. So I would not want to trade Reddick. There is a situation where he's like, hey, I'm just going to show up for the final 6 games of the season and accrue a season or a year. And then it's like, okay, well, we're getting a stud at the back half of our season. But hopefully he just plays all year. I don't want to deal with this whole holdout thing. He's lost like $4.5 million. It's crazy. Who do you think shows out from our UDFA D linemen? I don't know. I don't know how frequently they're going to get in there. I would say if anyone, LT3, Leonard Taylor, is the most likely because of just having less bodies on the defensive line. And I think they'll also want to give a little bit of a nod as, and this is on the season, not just for the one game, because Kinlaw and Solomon Thomas are both free agents after the year. I think it gives him an opportunity to start next to Quinnen if he actually shows out. So there is some inherent jockeying for starting role space there. Should we take a swing on Michael Thomas to have insurance for Garrett or Mike? Any gas left for Thomas? I wouldn't do it like real soon. I think he's going to be out there for a bit. I would bring him in right now. I'd rather wait and get Devontae. See if we can work it out. Tyler says, I work with the guy who does Locked On Browns. Oh, cool. That's pretty neat. I'll have to take a look through the Locked On stuff. I didn't know it was a thing. Like Aaron Rodgers said, I can't wait to play with Devontae again. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. This is the year we see Jeremy Ruckert score a touchdown. I hope so. Do they only make Locked On channels and NFL Report chat by chat and NFL Report chat by chat sports? By sports channels? Chat by sports channels. I don't know. We'll have to see. I don't really know anything about them. Jefferson will be down stat-wise more likely due to quarterback debacle. Yeah, but they're going to force feed him the ball, I think. They do have Aaron Jones over there, and they still have Hawkinson, so it's still a good team. Blitz Crew, if going to a nude beach, bring the new Ray-Bans. Yeah, they're charging right now. They're must be next to my bed. Those things are awesome. I really do like them. Honestly, having them on and using them as like headphones has been one of my favorite things. But the video and pictures is really cool. Actually, you know what was really fun? I was at Home Depot last night, and Becca, they had the Halloween decorations up, and they had like there was a mouse wrapped up in like mummy things holding a giant candy corn. It was like a 3-foot tall like mouse thing. And there was a golden doodle in was it a police uniform? I don't remember what it was. It was dressed up as something, maybe a fireman. And I was like, oh, Becca, I was like, here, like, take a look at this. And I like snapped a picture of it. And I was like, oh, she's like, why don't we just video chat? And then you can just like walk around. I was like, oh, okay. And I open up WhatsApp because I have an Android phone right now. Becca's got an Apple phone, so I couldn't FaceTime. So I was like, oh, okay, let me check this out. And then when I opened up the video chat for WhatsApp, it gave me the option to live stream from the glasses, like video chat from the glasses as a camera. So I was like, oh, let me click that. So I'm walking around and she's actually seeing me first person through everything. Oh, it was so cool. Super neat. Really good quality too. I don't know how live streaming goes. Like, I think what I might try to do is go to a game. The only thing that sucks is I can't stream to YouTube if I do the glasses. It has to be a Meta Facebook thing. So it's either got to be Facebook or Instagram if I do that. But I'll still capture some footage. Mo, should I take Brees or Christian McCaffrey in fantasy? I got the first pick. You sound tired. Well, it's 10:30 here. No, it's 11:30 here. So I am tired. I worked all day. Got 2 kids. I would take Brees. I really would. As much as Christian McCaffrey is a stud, you can't go wrong with that, obviously. And depending on how much your league's for, if you're concerned about that, there's something nice about not having Jet players on your team, so you don't get burnt in, in your fandom of watching the Jets, and then also get pissed off that you're losing money because your Jets like now stink. That's been a thing for me forever. Like in pick'em leagues, I used to always pick against the Jets because statistically it's just a better move. But overall, I'd rather be happy that the Jets won and be bummed. Like, I won't be as bummed if I pick them wrong. Sort of the same mindset. Let's see. Raiders would not want Reddick. They're going to be total rebuild after about a week 7 or 8. It depends what happens with Dak, because I think Dak is going to try and... I think they're going to want to trade for Dak, or they'll wait to see what the offseason looks like. And then I don't know what happens with Devontae. If they think they can get Dak, then I think Devontae stays in Vegas. If there's a feeling that Dak's going to go to like the Giants or something after the season, or he re-signs with the Cowboys, then I think Devontae's with us. But again, yeah, I don't think Reddick's necessarily a trade chip. All right. Danny, thoughts on the article that came out Aaron Rodgers causing problems in the building. I think it's false. Yeah, look, I think it's false too. I think it's crap. The guy gave back $35 million, the biggest give back in professional sports history as far as I'm aware. He's like been to every single voluntary workout outside of like 2 days of minicamp, which they can go pound rocks. Like, I'm sorry, that's not a big issue. And everything I've seen, it just seems like the Jets are moving all in the same direction. Like they're moving in lockstep. Like this feels like the most cohesive team that I've seen in a very long time. So that tells me it's someone trying to drive a story like Rossini or someone like that, or it's coming through Hassan Reddick's agent or someone from that agency to try and cause some turmoil. See what Aaron Rodgers can do, and the Jets can't figure out Hassan Reddick, and they're just such a laughing stock, and they know we're going to click on it. That's what happens. Saunders, Jets have no cap space and $53 million in dead money. Several contracts are coming up. Sauce Garrett, Breece Hall, AVT, JJ, along with the fact that Aaron Rodgers' dead money is going to be crazy after this year. 2026 is when a lot of that's going to hit. When that money hits, it's going to be rough. But I do like that we have Jordan Travis sitting behind the scenes. So I think that year that we're going to eat a lot of that dead cap is going to be the year that we try to have a young rookie contract quarterback in Jordan Travis try to show out. And then worst case scenario, if he bottoms out, then it's kind of like a tank year to reset. Maybe you can push salary cap hits into that year and just bottom out that season and then sort of rework your team from there. We're going all in for 2 years, so I'm not concerned about the future right now. RTW. It says, been subscribed since subscribe became a thing. Why am I not YouTube? I don't know if I know what that means, and that's okay. But thank you for subscribing. If you guys are watching and haven't subscribed yet, you should totally subscribe. All right. We're at the hour mark. So let's do one more quick read, which I should have pulled this up and I did not do it. So let's have it up. Boom, 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 boom. See, it logs you out of BetUS when you're not actively doing stuff on the site. So we'll talk one more time about the 49ers and Jets lines. All right. Thank you so much for BetUS for powering this stream. If you want to check out my 5 favorite bets, down below in the description, you'll find those. My 5 favorite season-long bets. Get a 125% bonus on your first 3 deposits, up to $2,000 when you sign up for BetUS. Like I said, plus 170 Jets money line right now. I would give it a day or so, see if that changes because of the signing of Brandon Aiyuk. But then total game points. I'm taking the under on 44 points. I do not think with these two defenses and it being a little rusty to start the season, I don't think it's a good move. As far as the point spread, I would not touch it this week. I am afraid of these two teams going at it and it being a very close game. I think 4 points is spot on. I think that's exactly what the spread should be. But I would not touch the spread in this game. So again, if you guys want to bet with BetUS and try to win some money this season, we could talk about our props and whatnot down in the description. Get a 125% bonus on your first 3 deposits, up to $2,000. All right, boys and girls, it's been a lot of fun hanging out with you tonight. I'm going to go to bed, maybe have a gummy, go relax. Then I'm going up to Saratoga for the weekend. So if you're going to be out there, horse race, all that good stuff, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And as always, go Jets.